This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Buzzard Roost Saddles. Buzzard Roost Saddles was born in the swamps of Santa Maria, South Louisiana, and their purpose is to get you standing over your next carcass so you can pick them clean. Proudly made in the USA, every Buzzard Roost saddle is handcrafted with a patent-pending system that brings you independent angle adjustments on your top and bottom panels to provide ultimate comfort. Standing by their motto, "We ain't fancy," Buzzard Roost helps you get the job done without making things overcomplicated. If you're looking for the next tool in your hunting arsenal, you can connect with Buzzard Roost Saddles on Facebook and Instagram, or you can visit their website at buzzardroostsaddles.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Hunt the Wild podcast. I'm your host, Adam Bolds. Today I'm joined with three different guests. I'm joined with Brett Morris from Blueriver Bowhunting, Zach and Adam from Mid-State Outdoors. How's everybody doing?
Doing pretty good. I think, how many episodes have I been on now? I got to get some sort of like certificate in the mail or something.
I know. This has to be number 5, I would guess.
I have a PhD in Hunt the Wild yet.
I was actually watching them last night, and I was like, dude, he's been on there a million times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we correspond back and forth a lot, and then when he told me he was successful with you guys, I was like, hey, man, you got to come on. He's like, what about if we get them on too? I was like, hell yeah, we can have we can run a 3-man show. And then I didn't know there was another guy coming, so this is the first 4-man show, so it should be good.
Caught us on editing night.
Heck yeah. So anybody that's maybe just tuning in for the first time, we'll let Brett repeat what he normally repeats about how he kind of got started in hunting and the outdoors, and then we'll swing on over to the Mid-State Outdoors guys and have them fill us in on how they kind of got started in hunting in the outdoors.
Yeah, my name's Brett Morris. I'm the CEO of Blueriver Bowhunting. Been doing it for a couple of years now. Have my own podcast, Blueriver Bowhunting Podcast as well, where I have some really cool people on, just like you guys. All you guys have been on my show. So how I got started in hunting, though, is just I think I was 11, 12 when I first started going deer hunting with my dad and uncle, and they got me addicted very quickly. It didn't take a whole lot. The first few times I went out, I was cold. I didn't see anything. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be for me. And then that day hit where I saw like 30 deer and I couldn't quit shaking, and I was like chasing that feeling for the next 30 years of my life.
What about you guys, Zach and Adam? How'd you kind of get caught up in it? Is it something you started at a young age or something you picked up later on in life?
Yeah, so actually it's kind of funny. My grandpa was never really much of a hunter. He was a farmer, but never really a hunter. He never really cared. And Dad's the one that kind of took over that, I guess. He's hunted since he was young. He kind of taught himself. And then when I was young, it was first got me a little bow and arrow, started flinging arrows, in the backyard. And then it turned into shooting guns, and then I was out hunting turkeys and deer, and here we are, now we're right into filming, and, we got our own stuff on Mid-State Outdoors, and, just took off from there. So basically addicted. Everyone says, oh, I'm addicted to hunting, but basically, yeah, that's all we do. So
there's really no other way to explain it when you're seems to be that involved. It's like you're addicted. That's the only word you can really describe.
Yeah, I could sit here and talk about hunting all night, but I mean, there's no better way to say it than just we're addicted to it. It's just what we do.
You got to be addicted to it for the money that we've got invested in the camera equipment and video equipment and editing softwares. It's unreal.
Yeah,
my wife, if you ever met my wife, she'd probably kill you if she actually knew how much money I spent on video equipment.
Yeah.
How did Mid-State Outdoors come to be? Is that something that's fairly new, or has it been around for a while?
We've been 3 years now. I've always had a dream I've hunted my whole life. I grew up on a farm. I grew up living in the woods, and always had a dream of having my own TV show, and just being able to hunt for a living is what I'd love to do for the rest of my life, but there's a lot entailed to it other than just hunting.
Yeah.
And I got a good buddy, Matt. He's part of the group, and he got with Zach, and we just kind of
us three kind of took off, and then we've had a few more people since then or whatever, but I would say 3 years really. We've poked around. We kind of started filming, I'd say 4 years ago. Yeah. 4 years ago we started filming, never really, I mean, it was just kind of for fun. And then I was like, dude, if we're putting all this time in, buying cameras, doing this, I was like, why don't we start a YouTube? And Adam's like, that's a great idea. We started a YouTube, and then we started our Facebook, and that kind of started to, we're getting a decent following, and it's kind of progressed now to where we're members of the ATA now. So we went to the ATA show this year, got in with a bunch of great people, opened a bunch of opportunities. Now we have people behind us a little bit now, so it's kind of like one of them things where it's starting to kind of pay off, and it's people. It's not so much like we're out there begging to be part of people's programs or anything like that. It's more like stuff we're using that we believe in. So it worked out really good. It's kind of, it just keeps growing, and it's all the hard work's kind of starting to pay off a little bit. We're kind of getting to where we thought maybe our goals would be.
And everybody that we've partnered with this year is all Michigan-based companies.
Yep.
When we went into this, we didn't want to just take every old Joe off the street saying, hey, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that. Because I'll be honest with you, we get emails all the time saying, hey, you want to be we want to represent this, we want to represent that. And it's like, I don't even know what half the shit is,
Mm-hmm.
When we got into it, we really wanted to stay Michigan-based, Michigan local, or local companies. And everybody that we've partnered with this year, we are pretty much all Michigan-based.
Like our two top was Scentlock and Fourth Arrow. Like when we were going to ATA, I was like, if we could get in with them guys, I don't really care what it takes. Like if we can get in with them guys, I would be so happy. And we ended up getting in with a couple good people down there that kind of opened up some doors for us. So it was pretty cool.
So Brett, got any fun things coming for your podcast? Any events you're attending this year, or any super, I know all your guests are super special, but any super special famous guests or anything like that? What's your plans for 2022, I guess, going into the summer and into the fall and all that?
I have about 3 shows lined up in the next couple weeks. Just kind of regular guys like I like having on, and I'm going to take a break after that for a little bit. I'm going to come back kind of like when I started last year in July sometime, and get back on the whitetails pretty hard. I'm going to have some. I already have them kind of lined up, and no dates yet. Talking about food plots and trail cameras and supplements and all that sort of thing. And saddles. Saddles is going to be a big thing with me this year. I'm going to be covering it a lot. So people that pay attention to my podcast are probably going to get sick of it. But seeing and hearing somebody go through firsthand of going through new equipment like that, it's probably something that maybe some people actually want to hear because they may be wanting to make that switch too or whatever. But yeah, I have an event here. Actually, I have a couple events coming up. The O2 podcast guys are having a thing out there at some local brewery, live show with Dustin Huff, the world record or second world record or whatever you want to call it, from Indiana, that was killed not too far from where I live, and they're having a live podcast type of thing. I'm going to go over there and check that out. And then Go Wild, going to go down there to Send It Slam there in Louisville. I'm not going to participate in the archery side of it. I'm kind of going to take pictures and enjoy myself. My wife's going to go with me, so we're getting a place downtown Louisville, so it's going to be kind of like a mini vacay, so I'm sure we're going to have some fun. It's country music and breweries and distilleries and a bunch of different Kentucky music artists, and it's going to be more of a party, I think, so I think I'll leave my boat home.
Down there.
Right.
Are you guys planning on going to any of those events, Zach and Adam, or?
I would love to. Brett was backing me, man, when he was up here. He's like, dude, you got to go, but we're so my family owns a small business, so I can't really take during the summer. We're so busy right now. It's just I can't take any time off to do that. You know what I mean? I usually save my time off for hunting season, so it's really hard to get any really time off, and we work a lot of weekends during the summer and stuff like that. So I would love to, but
I'm getting ready to go. We're actually leaving Thursday. Go up to Crystal Mountain for the Total Archery Challenge.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're going to shoot Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and have a good time and go drink some beers with John Dudley probably, and go from there. So should be a good time. We had a blast last year. We did it for the first time last year, and it's a ride. If you can ever go to one, it's a blast. Make sure you take a lot of arrows. A lot of the courses are 100 yards, 60 yards plus. So it's fun. My daughter's going, my nephew, and my brother-in-law. We're all going up camping, but there's 4 of us that'll be shooting. So
that's cool.
So Brett's kind of been, I guess when he shot that bird with you guys, he's like texting me saying he's like, I got a bird. So I had to get him on here and and kind of get the story. So it'll be interesting to see if he was kind of going to lie to me about how it all went down. So now I know you guys can tell the truth on the real story. So I don't know if you guys want to, Mid-State guys want to start out, or Brett, you want to start out, but I'm ready to hear the story because I know the video's not out yet.
Yeah, I'll start and they can chime in as I go, but I didn't know exactly when to go up there, so I was like, what's better than opening day? Let's do it opening weekend. Really throw it at the birds that haven't had anybody on them yet. Michigan doesn't have a youth season, so it's not like these youngsters have been chasing these birds yet. So I go up there for opening weekend. We had very good weather, but the birds just didn't cooperate. We couldn't get on them. It's really weird from progression from hunting Indiana birds and Kentucky birds where I'm chasing them through hills and hollers and ravines to wide open spaces. And when I say wide open spaces, I mean very wide open spaces, fence rows, very flat, no elevation change. You can see as far as you can see. And it was just very hard for me to get on those birds, and them even doing everything they can, having multiple properties where we could drive, check it all out, and do that sort of thing. And we struggled the weekend I went up there the first time. We just couldn't get on them. Got some great footage, birds gobbling in our face. We had one morning we thought we were going to get it done. My last morning there, we roosted something stupid, like 15 birds. Birds that we saw had beards. 30 birds probably went up in the trees. We knew exactly where we needed to be. We get there. As soon as they hit the ground, we hadn't even really started calling yet. As soon as the birds hit the ground, we hear hens yelping. So we start in on them, and they are fired up. Every time I hit the call, they gobble 5 times. You're like, well, this is awesome. And all of a sudden, you see the fans coming towards us. They were probably 300 or 400 yards off of us or so. Yep. And there's 4 birds full strut coming right at us, and they get to about 100. Yeah, running. At one point, the birds were absolutely running towards us. So we think, yeah, it's in the pan. Yeah, we had it made. So
it wasn't for the stupid deer.
That's what I was getting at. All of a sudden, some deer come out of some old standing corn that they kind of left up. But when the deer got up on us, the deer knew we were there. We were kind of right on the field edge, and the deer are blowing and trying to check us out, and almost got a 12 gauge to the face, if you want to be honest. But scared the birds off, and they just wouldn't really come any closer. Didn't get it done that day, and I wasn't dejected. I still had a good time. Going up with these guys, hanging out in Zach's garage, pounding bush lights till the sun's about up.
Getting an hour of sleep and then having to take a nap the next day.
Right. Lots of beer drinking going on up north when I went up there, but I didn't know that I was going to get to go back. And he's like, dude, if you get a chance, come back up here.
Like, come back. It's getting good. Like, you have to come. And then finally he was like, hey, would this weekend work? I said, yes, that's perfect. Come up here.
It just sucked because beginning of the season, we had a huge warm spell. And it just really got the turkeys just cranked up like weeks before season.
Oh, yeah.
And then it got cold again. When you were up here for opening day, it was probably it got down into the 40s at night. So they just weren't hammering like we were hoping they were.
It rained.
Yeah.
It was kind of, it wasn't bad weather that one day. The wind, it got really windy. It just,
But then
we were
I
on the birds,
decided to
just
go
not
back.
close enough. Yeah. Yep,
And then I decided to go back up there, and it's like, you know, this is cool. I get up there at a somewhat of a decent hour. You know, it's probably, I don't know, 2 o'clock or something. He's like, dude, let's go chase birds.
3.
And I'm like,
Yep.
I just drove 4 hours. I should have said, yes, let's load this shit up. Let's go hunting. But no, I choose to drink beer for the rest of the evening with Zach. So we're having a good time. You know, it's Turkey Camp 2.0. You know, I'm doing it again. Yeah. We didn't learn our lesson the first time. So we get up at 4:30 in the morning or whatever it is, and I look out the window to the little bedroom that I'm staying in, and all I see is lightning and thunder. And I'm like, well, that ain't good. So we look at the radar. It's going to be there for a while, so we decide to kind of sleep in. We sleep in, and yeah, not very much sleep, but we got it. No. And he comes downstairs and says, hey, man, my trail camera just went off. There's a bird back here on my grandpa's place. I said, let's go. So we went back there. You'll see in the video once we put it out there, we had him coming on a string all the way across this field, and then here come another thunderstorm, lightning, thunder, pouring rain. This bird gobbled multiple times in the pouring down rain, which I have personally never seen before. It was very wild, but almost had him. We had him about 120 yards, and then he didn't want to play no more, so he left, and we went back, and we're still hurting from the night before. We're still in that mindset of, oh, man, I just feel like complete dog poop right now, you know, so we take a little nap, or at least I took a little nap. I don't know.
I tried. I wanted to, but I couldn't.
You know, it's one of them turkey morning naps in the rain. Felt pretty good to get a couple extra hours of sleep. And he comes down and gets me and says, hey, there's a bird on the other side of Dad's right now. We should go try to intercept him before he gets to the food plot and see how this works out. And I'm like, awesome, I'll go. I'm ready to go now. So we get dressed, drove over there 2 miles or 3 miles or so from his house, and we get set up, and we already kind of know where we think the bird's going to go. So we come in, set the decoy up, get set up in the brush, and made a few calls, and it actually wasn't even me that got the bird fired up. It was Zach. He had JT calls. This bird, and I've said that to multiple people that I've talked to and told the story about. I said, you don't understand. This JT call that he whipped out of his pocket, every time he hit it, a bird would gobble. It didn't matter what field we were in. So I was like, I'm super stuck on the JT calls right now. But this bird gets fired up. We think he's going to come in from one direction. I'm watching, and finally he gobbled, and he was behind us. So we're like, oh, shit, you know. It sounded like he was going to walk right on top of us. So he made a little skirt around to the edge of this like standing corn sort of thing into the food plot. And the last time he gobbled, and I'm not making this up, he was probably 8 or 9 yards from where I was sitting. Just kind of had like a brush pile in between us. When he gobbled, it made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. That's how close he was. And it was unreal. I mean, we have footage of that too. It's going to be on there, which we've kind of put some stuff on our TikTok here and there, kind of thrown it out there already, but everybody doesn't see the full story. But he came out in the decoys, and I heard Zach say, when he turns, shoot him. So that's exactly what I did. As soon as I had a full-on headshot, he was a full strut too, which I know some people will get mad at, but full strut, and I blew his brains out.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
It was awesome, man.
So basically, backstory to the whole like filming thing and everything on that one. I actually he was sitting right in front of me, and I was filming off his right shoulder, and the film's just, I'm talking perfect, crystal clear, everything. And I'm on him. Well, I wasn't really like, I was looking at my screen, you know, it's filming. I'm looking at my screen, and he keeps walking. I didn't even realize where the decoys were really. And I thought the bird was going to keep walking to the left. So I like went like this and was going around to move to the left side. And as soon as I like get on the bird and the camera starts to focus, it's still like a little, it's not really like 100% focused, and then he shoots. But I mean, is what it is at this point. I even apologized in the video. Like, as soon as he like ran up and was excited, I was like, dude, I'm like, it wasn't focused. He's like, I don't even care, you know. It was awesome. High five, and dude, I just shut the camera off so we can high five and stuff, and turn the camera back on. We're still pumped up. It was awesome.
It was awesome.
So I gotta know, did Brett get did he get the old shakes when that bird came in?
No, but you can hear me breathing very, very
Yeah.
heavily in the video.
Yeah, you might be able to hear me breathe too. I'm not gonna lie, I was fired up. Dude. I'm talking, if you would have been there, this bird, like I said, from the time I called, he must have ran that field. Like he must have ran 100 yards to us, dude. Because after I hit my call and he gobbled once, I didn't even call back yet, and he was like behind us. We heard him gobble, and I was like, whoa. Like Brett said, dude, it gave me like goosebumps because I was just like, holy shit, like this bird is so close. Like, and I was trying to like, I couldn't even turn because I didn't want to look behind us and like spook him or anything. I was like, man, he might be coming right through the woods. So, like he said, he just worked around that outside or whatever, and he was gobbling his head off the whole way. You know, you'd barely touch your call, and he'd gobble one, two times. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. You can hear him even spitting and drumming at that close to the distance.
Yeah.
I actually heard him spitting and drumming before I actually saw the bird, which is incredible, man.
Yeah.
So
you came up at a good time, though, I feel like.
I told him, I said, we're killing them.
A lot of hens that I knew at that time, I wasn't there. I had a family vacation to go on that we had already had planned. But a lot of hens that I know already laid their eggs. So, I mean, because we had that such warm spell so early, that you came up at such a great time that a lot of the toms were starting to separate, you know, going on their own or getting into bachelor groups again of toms. And it just was, as soon as they heard some yelping, they're like, oh, shit, we got to go. You know, there's some more.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's interesting, you know, nowadays you see guys or whatever hunting with, you know, guys they grew up with or their friends from high school and everything. But you guys, you're 4 hours away from each other. So I kind of want to tell the listeners how you guys kind of connected and came to be hunting together, you know, up around your parts. And, you know, Brett traveled up there more than once. So you guys must be pretty nice dudes. But I got to know how you guys met.
Well, I had them on my podcast. Actually, I met, it's funny, you know, seems like TikTok nowadays, everybody meets on TikTok. But I met Zach on TikTok. He had put a hunting story or something up, and I was like, dude, you should come on the podcast sometime. Him and another one of his buddies that's a part of Mid-State Outdoors, Jake, hopped on and had a conversation. And in that conversation, somehow turkey hunting got brought up. And they were telling me how many birds that they had up there. And I told them how I'd been struggling the last couple of years to get it done. And I said, would you guys like to trade a hunt? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. We'd love to come deer hunting in Indiana. So we kind of made the plans, kept in contact, finally pulled it off, you know. And then, you know, after the first time us meeting and, you know, having fun and hunting together, we became friends after that. So it wasn't like just a one-time thing. You know, I'm not going to lie. I've been turkey hunting all over the Midwest. No, I say the Midwest, I almost have all the states covered in the Midwest. Michigan turkey hunting, I hate to throw an F-bomb out here, Adam, but it is fucking badass. I will be back every year for the rest of my life. I mean, for a turkey.
We're doing turkey camp 2023, you know. We got to do it.
So right. Like
I said, every year you might as well come up, dude. There's so many turkeys up here. It's unbelievable.
Not very many people turkey hunt up here. I don't understand it. Like, I've turkey hunted my whole life. I've come to the point where, I mean, obviously I hunted with a shotgun this year because I got a bum knee and I was supposed to have surgery, but I still haven't. But I got to a point where I was killing a turkey opening day. We have so many turkeys around here that it was too easy. So I started hunting with a bow, and I think I've gotten at least 4 or 5 with a bow. And I'm not going to lie to you. People will say it's not that difficult to hunt a turkey with a bow if you're in a blind. But when you're out in the open, and you got to pull back, and you got to freaking range them.
We're running and gunning up here, dude. Like,
you're not hunting out of blind usually, you know. So it's a lot more difficult to hunt with a bow, but it's more rewarding in my opinion. I mean, this year I wanted to kill one. I didn't kill one this year, but to do it with a bow, it's awesome. So next year,
I'm bring your bow next year. I will.
Backstory on this whole thing too. The funniest part is, like, I have turkey hunted, you know what I mean, when I was younger and stuff. I never really got into it. The only and I'm into it now, man. Like, he got me back into turkey hunting, dude, because he said he wanted to come up turkey hunting. So I'm like, well, you know, if I got to put all this time in, you know, getting all these birds kind of figured out, I was like, I might as well try it this year. And Adam's like, dude, you better try it. Like, you know, you got to put all this time in.
Usually I'm the only one out of the whole group that really turkey hunts.
And I hunted.
And I just don't get, I never got why, to me, it's that, yeah, going to chase a whitetail is freaking amazing. I love it. But to chase a turkey that has the eyesight of a freaking hawk, but it's just 10 times harder to kill a turkey than it is a deer up here in Michigan. But we have so many. I mean,
yeah,
you can go on my one property and you're going to see 30 to 40 turkeys, no problem, every day, all day long, from the neighbor's property to my property. And to be honest with you, when you were up here hunting, Brett, we didn't even see any on that property.
Brett's saying, hey,
you're lying.
So, I mean, yeah, we have so many opportunities to hunt up here at different turkeys between, you know, his family's got farm ground, I farm, you know, our other buddies got ground to farm. I bet you between all of us, we're well over probably 3,000 acres that we could turkey hunt on. And every acre probably has turkeys on it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you guys you paid your dues, and now Brett's in the hole and he owes you. So what's kind of the plan for coming to Indiana and hunting whitetails? You guys gonna hit some public, or is Brett gonna take
he said he had a couple deer
spot?
chained up to a tree for us. So.
Yeah. No, to be completely honest, like
I somehow believe that.
Kind of the same thing. Like, dude, I felt horrible. Like, when he came up the first time and didn't kill a bird, I'm just like, man, dude, apologize to him. He's like, dude, I had so much fun. He's like, you can't apologize for that or whatever. I just was like, man, I really wanted to kill one, so that's why I talked him into coming back. But like he said, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take you out deer hunting or whatever. And was like, he's like, hopefully we can get you on one. I'm like, dude, I really don't care. It's, you know, meeting dudes like him, you know, like we've only known each other for like what, couple months from TikTok, 2-3 months. Like, I feel like you've been one of my friends forever. You know what I mean?
I know. I fit right in with everybody.
But it's like
everything just clicked when you got here. We cracked a beer and went right to freaking drinking.
Brett told me. Brett backstory. Brett texted me here like, shit, I don't know. It was what, like last week. You're like, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of wish I was up there drinking some Busch Lights right now. I was like, dude, I kind of wish you were too. Like, no, we just had so much fun, dude. We just hit it off. You know, I'm not really one of them guys like go out there and just meet some random dude like, hey, come over to the house and do this, whatever. But like, he got up here and it was like, shake hands, you know, broke the ice a little bit, and then after that, it was like, but how have I not known you my whole? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Just kind of hit it off. It's good dude.
I was explaining to my wife, which I think it's funny, and Adam would probably think it's funny because he's from Indiana also. But Adam, they think I have a Southern accent.
Really?
Oh yeah,
you do.
He does.
You do.
Yeah,
I don't think I do.
I don't catch it at all.
About it. Like I couldn't believe you're not that far south of us, but you felt like your voice just. Like you were more farther south.
Got that southern drawl to it, you know.
Well, he lives further south than I do.
He's not anywhere close to southern Indiana. He's like way northern Yankee Indiana too.
Oh, but to go back on the deer stuff, we hadn't really set anything in stone yet. We're kind of going to let it play out. I think it's going to be more of maybe like a last weekend in October. Or I kind of explained to him I would probably stay away from that first week of November because where I hunt in Indiana, super lockdown phase. I mean, big bucks have these does locked down hardcore. You may not see shit moving at all. But, you know, that second week in November here in Indiana gets absolutely crazy. I mean, they're running like crazy. But my favorite time to hunt in Indiana is that last week in October. It's pre-rut. They're chasing. I mean, it can get very wild there too. But
that's the thing. I don't want to. That's what I told him too. I don't really want to mess up your hunting at all. You know, like,
dude, I'm behind the camera anyways. It don't matter. I just be filming somebody else.
I mean, like up here, to be 100% honest, my favorite time to hunt is October 26th, 27th through the end of October, basically. It's pre-rut up here, and that's when they get just crazy. You'll have, you know, 10 bucks come by your stand, you know, right underneath your stand a day, just grunting and, you know, getting crazy. So that's up to him. He tells me, hey, does this weekend work? And I'm going to say, yep, I'm packing my stuff on the way. You know,
Are you guys planning on? You guys plan on hitting public, or are you plan on taking them to some of your private spots? Or
definitely going to take them to private. You know, they deserve a great show that I can, the best that I can give them. And it's not that I don't want to take him to public, because I know some public land spots that are pretty decent. But I'm going to send them in my honey holes. I mean, whatever deer that it is I'm chasing, I don't care if I finally get back on Mike Tyson. I will put them on Mike Tyson. I want them to see the best, the best show they can, the biggest deer they can. I mean, that's why they're there. They're there to kill a big buck. They're not there to kill some small 80 to 110 inch buck.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that too. Are you guys strictly set on? Are you guys kind of score guys, or if you come down to Indiana and buy a tag and it's your last day, you're going to shoot a little basket rack?
So I'll tell you right now, I'm not shooting a basket rack anywhere. So my thing is, okay, I've killed probably, I don't know, 6 bucks over 100 inches. Like, I'm not gonna. My thing is, I guess I'm gonna put it this way: the last 2, this will be the 3rd year. I haven't shot a buck in 2 years again. Okay, but I get super picky and probably I'm one of them guys where I'll pass a buck and then afterwards I'll be like, man, that was a pretty good buck. I probably should have shot him. I've done that a lot, and Adam knows it. He's like, why didn't you shoot it?
All fall long.
Yeah.
Man, I should have shot that deer.
Like, and I'm not like, oh, it's got to be 140-inch deer. Like, up here, if you're shooting 130-inch deer plus, you're like doing real good. You know what I mean? I mean, up here, if you can shoot a good 3-year-old, I would say 4-year-old, you're doing really good. People always talk about Michigan. You know what I mean? There's only little bucks here. No, there's big bucks up here, but the whole neighbor thing, it is true. It's true, man. Like, my dad's piece, he has an awesome neighbor. My dad has shot 5 bucks over 140 inches off his piece. And the neighbor, Jim, he shot, I mean, like, multiple 130 plus 140-inch deer. Like, there's really good bucks in there by my dad's. I usually leave my dad's alone though until he kills a buck, kind of, because I just don't want to overstep that type deal. You know what I mean? Everyone's always like, why don't you hunt your dad's? And it's kind of just one of them things where I kind of just give him his space for a while, and then when I start feeling like it around rut time or whatever, I'll sneak in there and try putting one down. The last couple of years have been pretty tough, deer hunting wise for me. I've had good around, but haven't been able to capitalize on them, I guess. That it's hunting, you know what I mean? Not killing, I guess. But as far as the size thing, I'm not the guy to bash people on what they're going to shoot or anything. But me personally, I have like that 130-inch plus. Like, that's what I want to shoot. You know what I mean? I bring your camp up here to Dose Land. Yeah.
Your audio's breaking up really bad.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, like really bad.
Can you hear us now or no?
I think you're okay now.
I didn't hear a word you just said.
Oh. You look like you froze, so I was trying to figure out what was going on. But
Brett just looks like that. He gets caught in a moment.
Yeah.
Right? No, we said if you guys want to come up and do some doe killing or whatever during gun season, that'd be fun. Y'all get together and go out, and we just have so many does, you know what I mean? We like to try managing them a lot too.
You're looking at the old doe killer right here. Hey guys, real quick ad from our sponsors over at Buzzard Roost Saddles. Buzzard Roost saddles are proudly made in the USA, and their independent angle adjustments on the top and bottom panels provide the ultimate comfort for those long sits. Buzzard Roost stands by their motto, "We ain't fancy," and they help you achieve your goal while keeping things simple. You can connect with Buzzard Roost Saddles on Facebook and Instagram, or you can visit their website at buzzardroostsaddles.com.
Come on up, dude. I'm not kidding. It'd be so much fun.
I try to take at least. I didn't kill. This is gonna be horrible. I didn't kill a single deer last year. I own my own construction company, and I got way too busy last year, and just I didn't. I think I hunted like 4 or 5 times. That was it. But normally these guys laugh at me because opening day bow season, first doe that walks in, I'm freaking whacking her, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's 90 degrees out. You're freaking nuts." Well, I got meat in the freezer already, so
that's me.
But
that's me too. Yep.
It's just
I always put it off, and then it comes to the end of the year, and I'm like, man, I gotta kill like 3 doe to put in the freezer because I suck at deer hunting and can't kill a buck, you know.
We usually try to kill between Matt, the other guy that's on here. I think one night we killed 7 does in one night, one sitting.
Yeah,
just freaking
so nice.
And then you got to clean them all. It's like, crap, what are you doing? But we got so many does. I try to take at least 2 does per property on my properties. And to be honest with you, you take 2 does, they just have that many fawns next year. It's like, I know one property, I have 4 sets of twins already this year on one property for fawns. It's nuts. But to go back to the
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, to go back to the score, my wife won't let me shoot a deer unless it's bigger than the one I got 2 years ago, and that was a 145 and what was it, 145 and 5/8.
I said, sorry, Adam, you're not shooting one for a minute.
So,
yeah.
So if I listen to my wife, I ain't shooting a deer in a while. But
yeah, you better go, Iowa or something.
Yeah.
So you guys have your own property and your own kind of farm thing going on. Brett, I know you hunt mostly like other guys' properties, that farm, so you can't necessarily do everything that they can do. And I'm more of a public land guy, so I really can't do much. But I kind of want to hear from all 3 of you going into the summer, kind of what you're doing to prepare, whether it be like putting up stands or trimming lanes or what kind of stuff you're planting. Brett, maybe I know you're going to saddle up this year, so you're probably not going to have a bunch of sets going around. So I'm kind of interested in see what you're going to do with that too, is cameras, different things like that.
Well, you talk about hanging sets. Most of my places that I hunt already have sets hung, so that's not something I necessarily have to do. Definitely trim out some shooting lanes from those stands. But actually, my summer prep is actually starting this weekend. A property we call the pasture. That's one of the properties that Ryan gets for us. It's an old growed up pasture. We're actually going to put in a little like pond sort of thing for a water source that we're going to be doing this weekend. We're going to put a food plot back in it in July. It was kind of a micro plot last year that definitely held the deer, I think, in there. Maybe not some of the bigger bucks. It's definitely a summer hangout. That's where we had our biggest deer that were on a hit list from last year. We're on that property. But running trail cams for sure. I know the neighbor's already ready. He had to go to Costco the other day to get batteries because he needed so many because he's got like 27 trail cameras or something. But it's definitely camera season for us. We're definitely getting ready to throw most of them out there, get the spy points updated, and get everything ready. I know we're rerunning some Tacticam reveals this year, a little different than what we had normally done, but that's about it. We don't really need to trim anything. I actually probably one of my favorite properties to hunt that I've hunted the longest. I drove past it yesterday on my way home, and they haven't mowed it, which is different than what they've done in the past, and it's about 5.5, 6 foot tall grass. And I thought, man, this is the time I should probably get a camera back in there because they've cut some fence rows out on some surrounding farms, kind of taking some hide away from the deer. So I think it's going to funnel these deer into this bottom that I hunt a lot, and I think it's going to be a very great year for big deer over here for us. I think it's really going to happen. I mean, we kind of added a couple guys to the crew that chase very, very big deer that I'm hopefully going to get to be able to film this year. When I say big deer, I'm talking 180s plus. Very, very big deer that they've been chasing for several seasons. So I'm definitely ready to get back on it for sure.
What about you guys, Zach and Adam? What are you doing to prepare for season? Is that something you guys start now, or you wait till a little later in the summer?
I actually started on mine already a little bit at Grandpa's place or whatever, kind of close to my house. Brett was back in there or whatever. Last spring, we dropped a bunch of trees because I'm trying to kind of open the canopy up because it was one of those woods before where you walk in it and you can see all the way through it. It's just a small little piece of woods. So we dropped a bunch of trees, and we're actually working on starting to get some of them cleaned up out of there and try to get some growth going. But I did some seeding on my clover plot here already. Fertilized it this spring, trying to get it to pop up a little bit better because it's the second year of clover being in I got a little water hole in there, and I put clover in last year, and it's really sandy ground. So I'm trying to get that to kind of take off. So I went in and mowed that and fertilized it good, and it's starting to pop pretty good now. Other than that, I've actually had cameras up for a while. I put cameras up when I knew he was coming turkey hunting, kind of hung them out on the edge of the woods. And I have one over my plot there at Grandpa's. I have a few over at Dad's already, and bucks are starting to grow pretty good. Actually, a couple days ago, I got a picture of a buck at Grandpa's that's already I don't know, just inside of its ears, I would say. Yeah. He's growing just straight out. He looks like he's probably going to be a pretty good one. Looks like probably a 3.5-year-old or so we'll see.
Nice.
And I have fertilized a couple of my clover plots. Behind my house, I got a huge clover plot with a pond. 2 years ago, I put ponds in at a lot of my, I think, 3 places?
Yeah.
3 places. And with Brett, with you saying you're going to put a pond in, that is the best thing, in my opinion, that you can do for the deer.
Water source, man.
Because I have a huge county drain behind my house that holds water year round. But to get to that, they got to get out in the open to get to it. By putting that pond in, a lot of the deer don't even leave the woods now. It's crazy on how much they use it. One pond, I need to make it bigger this year because I've had too many deer on it. The one time it looked like a cattle farm. There were so many deer on it. So,
dang.
But I've the one woods we logged it off. I don't know, probably 10 years ago, and it's so thick you can't even see through it. So I have a forestry mulcher for my skid steer. And last Saturday, I went back there and cut some trails to try to. A deer will take, even if you take a weed whip. I've done this in the past, and even if you weed whip a trail to your stand or past your stand to your food plots, the deer will take a path of least resistance. They're just they'll bypass any other stop spot just to take the path of least resistance. So I took that mulcher and mulched a bunch of lanes in there and kind of opened it up inside the woods, but they're still surrounded by, I don't know, it's probably 6 to 10 foot tall saplings that you can't even see through. Even when the leaves fall off, it's hard to get a bow shot off in this stuff. And then my other farm, I got a rototill it. I was going to rototill it this weekend, but I forgot that it's Total Archery Challenge. So probably everything will start next weekend on that.
Now, do you guys do any kind of public land stuff, or are you guys strictly private land guys?
I mean,
we went to Ohio last year, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, we went to Ohio and did some public land stuff. Didn't really have any luck. I rattled in a buck to 40 yards, and then he kind of hung up, and it was just kind of goofy how I was set up. He winded us and took off, but we have a couple pretty good spots right next to us that I've got on some giant bucks, but
yeah,
I haven't haven't shot anything off public land.
A lot of people kill some big ones off of it, but I mean, people who know us, they know what we're talking about. So it's not really, we can't hide it.
Hey, we can't give too many pointers here, but
no, I get it.
So honestly, it kind of depends. For me, like, don't get me wrong, as soon as it gets here and they start growing good, I'm driving around twice a week out there. And I'll go out and glass and glass and glass. And if I find a couple good bucks, you know, I'm like, okay, okay. And then I guess for me, it's kind of like one of the things I have, you know, a few private spots that I can hunt. So it kind of depends on what's going on there if I'm going to go out to public land or not. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, if you hunt a lot of public land, it's a lot of work. If I can go into a piece of private and do it and drive my truck out to grab the deer afterwards and all that, then, you know, that's probably what I'm going to do. But it also depends, like I said, depends on what the private's looking like. If it's, you know, if it gets closer to season and I don't have any like good bucks that I'm even going to think about shooting, then yeah, I'm going to focus this year on public, but we'll see. It should be an awesome year for deer hunting by us this year, because last year, so 2 years ago, there was, by my dad's, in that 4-mile section, there was 16 bucks. Like, I'm talking over 120, 16 bucks that we know of that got shot. So last year, it was pretty slow for big bucks, but last year there is a lot of like 2-year-olds that they should be something, you know. This year, 2-3-year-old bucks that are, you know, to that point where they were like on that fine line, and we're like, oh, we should probably just let them go this year, you know. And I know of 3 bucks at my dad's that made it through that I know this year are going to be shooters. So we should have a good year, knock on wood, but we'll see how it goes.
Brett, I know you're anti-public land guy. Are you going to be hitting any of that this year?
Yeah, actually, it's kind of a goal of mine. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be picky when it comes to bucks. I actually have a goal. I want to kill a public land deer this year. Doesn't matter how I do it. I don't care if it's with a muzzleloader, with a crossbow, I mean, obviously, I don't have a crossbow, but it doesn't matter what it is. I want to try to get it done. I'm actually, for the first time ever, I'm going to Kentucky, September, that first weekend. I'm going after a velvet buck with the neighbor and a couple other of our guys now. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully I can lay off the beers Friday night going into that opener. I know it's going to be hot, but me and the neighbor have kind of a game plan already. He's taking in a couple climbing sticks. I'm taking in a couple climbing sticks. We're both going to be in saddles. We're going to wing it, and I'm going to film him. If he gets it done, I'll buy a tag. But I'm basically going down to film him because he shot an absolute giant down there several years back in full velvet. So getting that on film would be pretty cool. I'm going to try to film as much as I can of just the experience itself. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little public land this year, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty, I will be on my private land.
What part of Kentucky are you guys hunting?
It's northern Kentucky. I don't remember the name of like the national forest or whatever it is that we're hunting, but it's a bow only place, so it doesn't get much gun pressure. So they've killed several big deer in there. I think they killed a 165, 152, and then Adams was like a 137 or something like that. So they've killed some big deer in velvet down there. So I'm ready to experience that for sure.
So would you say, I guess, your biggest goal for the year is to kill a public land deer?
No, my biggest, and people are going to think I'm crazy. My biggest goal for the 2022 deer season is to film somebody on my team shooting a decent buck of whatever that they choose to shoot. I want to get it on film. It's so hard to explain to people how much time that we put in a stand, even during the week. I probably put more hours into a stand than some people do at their 9-to-5 job throughout a 1 week period. And we just couldn't get it done last year. It was always something. The weather was hot. The wind wasn't in our favor. The deer just didn't cooperate. It was a really weird deer season for us here last year. But my biggest goal is to get somebody on my team shooting a giant buck on film.
What about on the mid-state team?
Yeah, hey, definitely. I would take that all day long, buddy.
He just wants to film.
I just want to film something.
Hell yeah.
We're kind of the same boat with everything that every partnership that we've gained this year. We want to take our filming to the next level, and I've already vouched that I'd rather film I'd rather shoot a deer with my camera,
get it quality,
and get a quality footage than shoot a deer with my bow or a gun
and have just half-assed.
So my goal this year is to take our YouTube channel to that next level. I don't want to stay where we're at right now. I want to take it to that next level. Just the film quality this year, we all bought new cameras this year. We all went to we all went to 4K cameras. Granted, when you download onto YouTube, you can't watch 4K footage on YouTube anyways because nobody's internet's fast enough. But
we have other plans.
We have other plans down the road for it, so we wanted to go that next level and get new cameras, which a lot of people weren't really ready to do it, but we did it, and now we're excited to keep on going with it and take it to that next step. And
when you release that 2022 turkey video out for people to buy, I want to be on the cover of that thing.
Hell yeah.
When is that video?
I want the behind the scenes to that. That's what will be released. The blooper section, that one would be.
There will be bloopers in that one. I did not watch.
Oh God!
I can't wait. When is that video? When are you guys plan on releasing Brett's turkey video?
Let's see.
Probably a month, honest. To be
completely
honest. Well, I don't know. We need to start busting them out. We have, like I said, we're
trying to put a video out every Wednesday at 6 o'clock every Wednesday. That's our goal. This last couple of weeks, we both been slammed with work, and we both said this week that we got to make initiative to get a video out every Wednesday. So this video that we worked on today will come out this Wednesday. A lot of the next videos are going to be short ones, so they're not going to be too hard to edit. So the hardest one that's going to be editing is going to be Brett's, because it's going to be, I'm not going to cut out a whole lot of stuff. It's going to be a lot of raw footage, a lot of back in,
hanging out in the garage type stuff. It's, the experience, like the hunt was awesome. You killing a bird was awesome, but I feel like just that, like, hanging out and doing all that was like, that's what is gonna make that video. You know what I mean? Like, all right, dude from Indiana's up, just met him, but these people are gonna be like, these guys just meet, they're having a great time, way too good of a time. We met them 3 hours ago and we are hammered drunk. I'm sorry. Like, it was awesome,
I hope you were rolling that camera there after I shot the bird. Adam, you kind of get a kick out of this because you've traveled to hunt a little bit down in Kentucky and stuff, but after shooting this bird, I don't know, I just got this huge waves of emotion that were a lot different than I normally had got. And I'm just kind of standing there, and he's like, you ready to go take some pictures? I'm like, give me like 5 minutes, man. I'm kind of taking it all in. It was just cool. I was in the northern woods of Wisconsin. There's the big box blinds that they have up there, which isn't something that we really have around here. He's got the big, beautiful food plot in front of it, and it was just like so picture perfect in my mind after it all went down. I just had to like stand there and take it all in. Finally, I was like, all right, we can take some pictures because I'm ready to pound some bush life now.
It does seem like it hits a little bit different when you're in another state. I get that feeling too. I don't know if it's like, when you go to another state or you're far away from home, you feel so pressured to kind of get it done, and like when it finally comes together, it's just like, because when you're at home, you're like, man, I can just go back tomorrow morning, but like you're on a schedule there. So I think it's just kind of like a little bit of relief and all that all at one time.
It's definitely different hunting out of state. That's for sure.
And that's what I guess that's kind of what I was getting at when you were talking about the whole deer hunt down there. It's like, I feel like it's more of just like the experience and like how it makes you feel to be doing something different than you normally do. Like, and that's what I've gotten into lately is like, I've been switching stuff up. I switched the last couple of years. I have been like hanging and hunting, I would say 80% of the time. Like, it's just something I like fell in love with because it's not just like, oh, let's go climb in this tree stand I've hunted 50 times. No, I'm out doing the homework. Like, all right, I know this deer walked right down this trail. I'm going to set up 50 yards to the north of this and I'm going to kill him tomorrow. Like, that is just doing stuff different, I guess, is what keeps me like just fired up and ready to go.
So I have to know, we're going to backtrack here a little bit to when you guys went to Ohio. I know Brett's crazy ass story from Ohio, as I'm sure you guys have heard. Was your Ohio experience, was it was the public land there bombarded with people and all that, or was it pretty chill?
Yes.
Because I know Ohio's a big state now for people to travel to.
I won't.
We had better opportunities when we just crossed the border.
Yep.
Like 10 minutes across the border. Like when we went to Ohio, we went to the southern part of Ohio. Went down into the hills and hollers. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought I was in Colorado because we're climbing mountains. They look like mountains, but they're just hills and hollers. But
dude, we were excited after the second day when we seen a deer.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. And I was like, this is so dumb. Like, I want to go back home.
We hunted opening day, and I was the only one that seen deer. He seen a giant ass cat.
Yeah, I seen a cat. Could have smoked that one.
But we didn't. I mean, it was in the 90s. It was really hot, and the deer weren't moving. And we're used to hunting cornfields, and then all you got is just big chunks of timber and some hollers. It just was totally different to us, and it was fun. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I had a blast, but I felt like
we went at the wrong time.
Yeah, we went way at the wrong time.
And then when me and a couple of the guys actually went back to Northern Ohio, we went to a local bow shop, and the guy was like, dude, you guys missed it by a week. Because we actually went, it would have been like the second week in November.
Yeah.
I think is when we went back. And I told the guys we should have went the week before, but it didn't work out with everyone's schedule. So I was like, all right, whatever, we'll go the following week. The guy was like, dude, if you guys would have been here last weekend, there was bucks in every field chasing does. It was just nuts. He's like, but it's slowed down. I haven't seen a buck in 2 days. I'm like, oh man, just our luck. But that was actually the day where I rattled in a buck, like a really nice buck. I'm saying 140 plus for sure. Like it was a good one, but it was one of them things where I can't say I didn't. I mean, hunting Ohio was cool. Just I should go at the right time, I guess.
We need to hunt it a little bit more to figure out the layouts, the better,
And my thing is, every time we're going on a out-of-state hunt, we're always like, all right, when should we go? And then we all talk about it, and I'm like, I never want to give away from my rut here. But then the more I think about it, I'm like, who even cares? You know what I mean? Like, let's dedicate the time. If you're going on state, it's perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go hunt the rut out of state, and then, hopefully I just kill one here pre-rut or early season, and I won't have to worry about it. But
that's the thing, like, based off of what Brett said, your pre-rut or your
same
rut
time
down there is like the same time as ours.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that. So, like, if we're trying to plan something for an out-of-state hunt, like if we wanted to go, like, back down to Indiana and do some public ground or something, we kind of have an idea of when we should go, or not just winging it and then going down there on hopes and prayers and
wasting your time. Basically, I mean, it's never wasting your time, but no, I guess when I'm going,
any time in the woods is better than sitting at work. So
for sure.
Yeah,
I'd have to agree. So I got to know, why Ohio and not Indiana?
Well, we went down to the ATA show this year, and
the whole way down, I'm like, dude,
what did we do? Like, we passed a lot of ground, and we were on our Onyx, and I was like, dude, that looks sick.
And it looks like us, it looks like us, like
yeah.
All the stuff we passed, like the northern part of Indiana, it's all like that marshy, this nasty looking stuff, and that's our public land up here. At least the spots. See, now I'm just giving it away too. The spots where I like to hunt.
We'll take it.
I'm giving it away to everyone that's listening. You guys can all, but either way, that marshy ground and stuff like that, that's what I like to hunt, dude.
Yeah, we passed some ground down there on our way to ATA, and it was like, are you kidding me? That looks just like, I told him, I said,
it was just by where I'm talking.
That's got it. If that's not public ground, that is probably some sick hunting.
Yeah.
Just, those pieces you can look at and you're like, holy shit. Like, somebody needs to hunt that, because it just feels like there should be something in there,
Oh, I'm sure there is. But...
So we talked about it. If this wasn't going to happen, we were going down to Indiana anyways.
Like, I'm buying an Indiana tag regardless. But so I guess if it doesn't work out, or maybe we'll hunt some public in Indiana early season too. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I figure if I'm buying an Indiana tag, I might as well use it though. You know what I mean?
Just like I did, you know.
Well, right? Oh yeah.
Well,
I mean, I'd love to go to Kentucky, but that's just, not knowing anybody down there.
Too far?
Like that.
Yeah.
No, I go to Colorado. I wanted to go to Colorado again this year, but I go elk hunting at least every other year. I try to, but I haven't been in like 3 years. So I tore everything in my knee, so I got an ACL torn. I got supposed to have surgery a long time ago and just haven't done it. And I don't want to go out to Colorado and have to have the, freaking plane come get me or a helicopter. So
I'm not carrying you out. He doesn't look that big on camera. He's a big boy.
You probably buy a lot of out-of-state tags for what that helicopter ride costs.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. We're not going to do a super long show tonight, but if you guys have any thoughts to kind of wrap it up, or you guys can tell everybody kind of where to find you on social media. I know you guys have the YouTube channel going on, so you can kind of let people know where to find all your social media and your videos and stuff like that. And you as well, Brett, tell everybody kind of where to find you and what to look for coming up this week.
I'll let you guys go first.
Okay. So obviously we have the Facebook, Instagram, we have a Twitter, and our YouTube. And like Adam said earlier, we'll be posting once a week, basically on Wednesday is what we're aiming for. You know what I mean? Work dependent. We all work a lot of hours, so we kind of squeeze it in at night like this or whatever and try wrapping up videos. But we're going for every Wednesday or whatever. We'll have out our turkey season stuff. And we have a lot of, good hunts coming up for sure. Brett's including. And after that, usually we roll our YouTube into, kind of like the prep work and all that kind of stuff too. So we should have, videos rolling almost into deer season, so if you guys check us out and like us, give us a subscribe. That'd be awesome. And keep an eye out for us for sure.
What city are you guys around, or can you say, will that give away too much of your public spots?
Yeah. Well, he's in Owasso and Chestnut area, or I'm in Chestnut. He's in Owasso. So basically, like right in the middle of Michigan, right in between Flint, Lansing, and Saginaw. We're basically right dead smack dab in the middle. So
I know there's a few listeners on this podcast that are from Michigan, so they could be next door neighbors. Who knows? So we'll see. They might listen to this and link up with you guys. I don't know.
There you go.
And you can find Blueriver Bowhunting just about anywhere. You can find socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Go Wild, any of those platforms. We obviously have the YouTube going as well. I'd like to get some more people over on that. And then the podcast I do weekly. I'll have a show coming out here in a couple days, weekly show. And then I'm probably going to take a little bit of a hiatus for about a month and focus on getting cameras out and all that sort of thing, and then get back on the deer conversation with all the stuff that's going on with the summer and everything. But check us out for sure.
Brett's going on a monthly drinking binge. Don't let him fool you.
Like Michigan, I didn't even know about
it. So just before we wrap it up here, Brett, these shows that you're going to, if there's people that want to meet up with you, maybe chat at these shows, what's the best way to link up? Is it to message you prior to, or is there somewhere at these shows where they're going to be able to find you, or going to be at a booth? Or
I'm not going to have a booth or anything like that. Actually, if you would be interested in the Send It Slam, multiple of my social media accounts, I'm giving away 2 VIP tickets. And I'm not sure exactly what VIP entails, but I have 2 VIP tickets personally, so I'll be wherever that entails. But if you want to meet up with me at one of those shows, man, I have a personal page on like LinkedIn. That's about the only thing I do personally myself, not Blueriver Bowhunting. You can check me out on there, and if you would like to meet up, just send me a message on there, and we'll get her figured out.
Cool. Well, it was really nice to meet you guys. I'm glad that you guys came on here. I wanted to see if Brett was bullshitting me about this whole turkey hunt. I wanted to see if he was leaving any of the interesting facts out, or maybe he missed or something. I don't know. Never know what he's trying to pull
fun,
over
man.
on me.
No, I appreciate the invite, man. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, we'll have to, maybe we'll all link up sometime this fall. And, you know, I'm like Brett and I'm like you guys. I just want to film. So if we can just find a bunch of people that want to shoot deer, then I think we'll be okay.
Heck yeah, man.
Well, we did talk. We were talking about doing. I mean, this is out of the ordinary, or out of the blue, but we haven't really talked about it too much. But we did talk about possibly getting together and doing like a public land challenge, trying to get a bunch of people together and
it'd be fun.
Just pick a place and just camp out and just go at it.
Just kind of go out and see what you can do. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be a riot. Get a bunch of guys.
Where are you guys looking at? Are you looking at in Michigan or Indiana, or don't really know?
I mean, we can go to Indiana. Go to northern Indiana.
If you go to northern Indiana, I mean, we can keep it. You don't have to keep it to that state. I mean, northern Indiana. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Southern Michigan is some freaking slamming bucks on public ground. Oh, I'm talking, you know, just 200 inches.
I mean, I've seen it.
So it's. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Public ground in Michigan is probably gonna be way tougher than Indiana, but I haven't hunted public ground in Indiana, so I don't know that.
Yeah, how busy is Indiana? Pretty busy or not bad?
Depends on the time of the year.
It's rough around Evansville, I'll let you know that. There's a lot of people on little small plots of ground.
We could do like Hoosier National, though. I mean,
National would be a better.
We had a guy from Texas that was wanting to come up and hunt with us on public land. And do you know how many acres Hoosier National is? I mean, it is absolutely, just enormous.
It spreads across, I think, 5 counties, so it's pretty big.
My Lord.
You don't want to get lost there without being prepared.
Yeah, right.
It's a big area.
It'd be fun. I think it'd be a blast. I mean,
yeah.
I think we should really sit down and try to figure something out. That'd be a blast to do.
Yeah, we'll talk after this or something.
Yeah, cool. Well, I appreciate you guys all coming on again, and we'll figure something out. We'll catch up with you guys, and I'm sure this won't be the last time chatting. So, Brett, thanks again. Everybody go listen to Brett's podcast. It's badass. And everybody go over to Mid-State Outdoors and check out their content, their YouTube channel. Yeah, just check them out, give them a like and a subscribe, and let's help each other out. All right, guys, I appreciate it.
Yep.
See ya.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Hunt the Wild podcast. If you enjoyed the show and it's brought you some sort of value, I'd love if you could give me a rating and a review. Just a few seconds of your time can help me better understand the type of content you all enjoy, and it would mean the world to me to hear from all of you.